you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are latest things that makes it official. I'm glad I don't have to do that job anymore. Thanks for coming on the show. For over 16 years and 2,300 episodes now, we've been bringing you the Chris Voss Show, 10 to 15 new shows a week. If you're not listening to all those darn shows and learning new stuff, and your brain is growing so bad it's starting to hemorrhage onto itself, that's what we call it, the brain bleed, folks. You need to go back and listen to everything again and refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. It's like MLM people. You have to have 5 people you refer to your downline. No, I'm just kidding. It's not like that, but we do expect you to buy a monthly package. Buy the cups or the logos, people. Anyway, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss 1 on the Ticketockety and all those crazy places on the internet. Today we have an amazing young lady on the show. We're going to talk about her hot new book that just came off the presses. Clark, the Bully Shark, the 2025 edition, as it were, out February 17th, 2025. Paula Ruth Jones joins us on this show today. We're going to be talking to her about her insights, her life experience, and some of the things she's poured into multiple books she's working on. She was born in Hot Springs, Arizona. Maybe that's what caused it. Arkansas. Yeah. It's, is it Friday yet? My brain has clearly exited the system. She was born in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and always wanted to be a teacher to share not only was in books, but also her own storehouse of knowledge and learning lessons in life that would support the choices of young people as they approach adulthood. After leaving the University of Arkansas in 1966, Paula moved to New York City, where she became interested in ancient art and numerous opportunities to travel to areas of the ancient world. She moved to Miami Beach in 1984 because that's what everyone does in New York City eventually. And she sold luxury real estate. I'm just kidding. I don't know what people in New York do. After attending family reunions, she realized how important it was for future generations to remember who their ancestors were. This inspired her to recently publish her family history and led her to write Dalton's Dream, in hopes that with each turning of the page, young adults reading it would have a better appreciation for their parents. Sounds like she's got some issues with her kids. Is that going on there, Paula? Is that what? Trying to get those better appreciation for your parents. My mom does that a lot. She's like, you better appreciate me. And I'm like, yes, Mom. She hopes they'll appreciate life in the 21st century and never forget their sacrifices their ancestors made for future generations. Welcome to the show, Paula. How are you?
I'm great, and this is such a great pleasure for me.
And it's a pleasure to have you as well, a multi-book author, and you've got these wonderful books out. Give us your .coms. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
It's PaulaRuthJones.com.
There you go. And so, Paula, give us a 30,000 overview. What's in this new book? Clark the Shark, the Bully Shark.
Clark the Shark, it really kind of makes children aware how to treat others the way they would like to be treated.
Oh.
And I feel that bullying really starts in the home environment. Sometimes parents have disagreements. They deal with the disagreements in a different way, maybe physically sometime. And then they go to school and they think that's the way to deal, with their angry or whatever's happening. And I always wanted to find a fun way for children through animation to make it fun for them to learn about bullying.
Oh.
Because bullying is not
fun to learn about.
It's a timeless thing. Every baby that is born today, tomorrow, will experience bullying sometime in their childhood.
Yeah.
And
mine was from my parents. No, I'm just teasing. It wasn't.
Gosh, you're
Do it,
funny.
do it. Give us your lunch money. But you gave me my lunch money, but we want it back. Anyway, I'm just doing jokes. I don't know where I made that up. You decide to write the book and help people out then.
After many years of wanting to.
Yeah.
When I came to Vegas, my brothers asked me, why don't we relocate? We're all getting older. And because I was the only girl, we really didn't get to know each other when we were young. So I told them, I said, listen, I've been around the world. There's no way I'm going to spend my golden years in sleazy Las Vegas. They said, it's not sleazy anymore.
It's not sleazy anymore.
I came here and I loved it. I mean,
it's wonderful.
Want it, not there if you don't want it.
Yeah.
And so I was doing luxury real estate here, did extremely well. And which is easy to do if you apply yourself. And so when the market crashed, I took that opportunity to develop my books. And the first book I wrote was Clark the Bully Shark.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, have you always known you were a writer? Was there a point maybe when you were youth where you started writing a little bit and you're like, maybe I'll get back to this later?
Well, to go back to the beginning question about my background, our home environment wasn't the best because we were very young. Mm-hmm. And our mother temporarily put us in an orphanage in Monticello, Arkansas.
Oh, no.
And I used to stutter, and all the kids would make fun of me.
Oh, no.
And so I always put my nose in a book. Mm-hmm. And I'm an avid reader. I love reading. And it taught me a lot. And I just started, wanting to, well, I would write, but like on a simple plane, of course, at that age. Mm-hmm. But I actually did it when I came to Las Vegas because I had the time now.
Yeah, you have the time to sit down and
the
really
focus.
And a lot of people do that with writing. They kind of, I wrote a little bit when I was a kid in fourth grade. I was making a little rhyming limericks that were kind of like little Dr. Seuss sort of poems. And I'd write them about people and stuff. And I kind of would write throughout the years, but I never really applied myself until recently. And now everyone hates me on Facebook.
Sorry.
They're like, why do you write these long things? And I'm like, I'm trying to teach you dumbasses some shit. So there you go. I don't know. They're not learning. Anyway, so jokes, people. So you write this Bully Shark book, and what is your vision? What are your hopes to be? It sounds like you've put at least 2 books in the can. You've got another one coming out soon.
I have 2 drafted.
Uh-huh. Are there more coming? Is there plans? What's the plan?
Well, as long as I have the time, I would like to. But the 2 that I have currently drafted, the first one is called Snowflake.
Oh, really?
And I envision the cover having a lot of different snowflakes. And the whole premise is that there's no 2 snowflakes alike. Oh. And in the center, the way I vision it, there would be from each race that I would put a child. And the whole message is that they should feel very special because there's only one of them like a snowflake. There's no 2 like them. Although I have to tell you a quick funny story. I read to a group of kids in school here locally. And one of the kids, 6 years old, said, Miss Jones, are you going to write any more books? And I said, yes. And he said, fiction or nonfiction? 6 years old. I looked around at the teachers standing around the wall. I said, you did a great job with these kids. Anyway, so the kid raised his hand after I said, there's only one of you, and that's really what makes you very special. And he said, but I have a twin. Now, think about that process of a 6-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one of the books.
Yeah. I don't think I knew what nonfiction and fiction were until, 45 or something. I don't know.
Either.
I think I did, but I would confuse them. I'd be like, which one's the nonfiction one? Because, fiction...
Fiction is not true and nonfiction is...
Yeah. I'm always like, which one's the one that's the one where it's real or not, or maybe. But, I think I've figured it out now because I've interviewed, I don't know, 1,000 authors or something on the Chris Voss Show. So I probably figured it out by now. I hope. But every now and then I see a fiction book and I'm like, this sounds like it should be real. It's kind of like the world we're living in right now in 2025. So Clark the Bully Shark, what do you hope people come away with when they read it? Is it specifically targeted to children then?
Not 100%. I think parents need to read it as well.
Mm-hmm.
They can help their children. It's an ongoing issue. I think it'll be, for centuries. I think it's part of our makeup that we react to certain things, either in anger or, physically or whatever. Yeah. And I think it's a timeless subject, and I feel very, very confident that people will enjoy it and get something out of it.
There you go. I remember when I was in school, this was somewhere in the 1700s, I think. And it was right before the Revolutionary War, if I recall rightly. And I was hanging out with Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones. We were having a beer, and he was telling me how it sucks to be this old. And anyway, I had in third grade or something, I had these bullies, and they would steal our lunch money, and they would push us around in the play yard. And I remember I came home one day and I was complaining to my mom or my dad. I think it was my mom. And my mom just said, just go punch him in the face or something. I can't remember if it was my dad, because my mom was in a penchant for violence, but I think she was just sick of me complaining about it. But I don't know. One of them told it to me. I should probably ask one of them and to get my story straight. But they basically put this idea in my head that maybe you should just punch him back. And I was like, well, yeah, there's bullies and there's 3 of them, and there was 3 of them. And they would follow me home from school and harass me. They would catcall me. They would follow me home from school, and this is in the day where you'd have to walk like, I don't know, it was good, probably almost a mile home that I would have to do from elementary school. This is the old days, folks, when you had to walk back and forth 5 miles in 4 feet of snow that your grandma always tells you about. Because I'm a grandpa, I guess, technically, at my age. So anyway, and they would catcall me the whole way. They'd walk like, 50 yards behind, 25 yards behind me, and, just tell me what a horrible piece of garbage I was for a human being the whole walk home. And so for a whole mile, that's quite the endurance thing. Sometimes I'd try and outrun them, or I'd run so that they would avoid them. Sometimes I would cut through people's yards to try and ditch them. I mean, it's a real pain in the butt. So one day they got in my face. They were hustling me for lunch money, and somehow I broke. And I think my parents put that idea in my head, and I just broke. And I went full that scene from what is it, The Christmas Story? I just went. I just attacked the guy, shoved him to the ground, and just started whooping on him and losing it. I kind of lost it there. I'd kind of disappeared for a little while, and then I realized I'd bloodied him up, and I stopped and got off, and his friends were just kind of in shock, his 2 little buddies, and that was it. That was the end of being bullied for Chris Voss. They never screwed with me again after that, and it kind of taught me a lesson that you stand up for yourself. You sometimes got to deal with the bullies in life, and sometimes you got to meet fist with fist. Although, you shouldn't do that maybe as adults, because that'll get you a felony. But it's okay if you're under 18. No, I'm just kidding. People, don't do that either. We don't do violence. Try and do logic and reason first. So that's my bully story. I don't know if that helps at all.
Yes, I was listening. I was taking notes.
I could hear you snoring on the other end of the line there. Don't fool me.
I don't snore. That's one thing I don't do.
Oh, well, there you go. Good for you. You don't want that. You don't want to have one of those Darth Vader mask machines that people wear now. This is important. I mean, I would have maybe liked to have a good book on bullies and how to deal with them that didn't involve fisticuffs when I was a kid, maybe. So why didn't you write this earlier, basically, is what I'm saying. I was born the year that you went to New York.
What year was that?
1968. I think 66 you went to New York, or
Well, I went 1 year of college at the University of Arkansas,
Oh, there you go.
and I couldn't stay.
Oh, that's right. University of Arkansas.
And at that time, one semester was $400. Can you believe it? That was
$400.
now it's like
Highway
$40.
robbery. It probably still is in Arkansas. Anyway, that's an education joke, folks. Let's talk about your other book. The book that's called Dalton's Dream, and that's going to be coming out. Tell us about that when it comes out.
Well, Dalton's Dream, first of all, I spent 2 years. This was after the market crashed here, and I had the time. I spent 2 years in gathering all of our family history. I called everybody, and I said, I want old Bibles back from 1700s, old clothes, dolls, handmade, anything that you can provide. The Civil War, documents. You would be surprised how much I compiled.
Wow.
I had to do it in 2 books because there was a limit of 250 pages per book, and I did it through Ancestry.
Wow.
And so anyway, Dalton is my nephew, lives in Florida. And what I did is after I finished the books, I sent each family member a set. So Dalton lives in Florida. The books are on the coffee table. He's dressed in a soccer outfit, waiting for his soccer ride. He had just read about his ancestors. And it was Christmas time, and he had just gotten an iPhone. So after he read the books, he fell asleep with his iPhone in his hand and met all of his ancestors that he had just read about.
Oh, wow.
Taught him how to play soccer. The boys didn't go to school at that time, only the girls. He took them to the schoolhouse, taught them that that was during when Obama was president. And he said, we have a black president, which was shocking to them because slavery, right?
Yeah.
And then at the meal table, which one of the boys killed a turkey and the mother's roasting it in the fireplace. He has his cell phone in his hand, and everybody wanted to know what it was. And he explained it to them that when a person you want to talk to isn't in front of you, you can just push some buttons and talk to them. Well, they were amazed, of course, and so anyway, he took their pictures. Now, not to make a, to make a long story short, that the last thing they do is they go out to the barn to put covers over the horses. And Dalton had dropped his cell phone, and when he bent down to pick it up, the horse kicked him in the head and woke him up from his dream. He showed everybody all the pictures, told the story. They said, "What are you kidding? You took the pictures out of the album." That's the story.
Wow. There you go.
Basically, it's very detailed and really quite interesting.
Yeah. And so that's the Dalton's Dream story of the book. That's the dream part. It shows a huge ship on the front too, so that's kind of
that's
cool.
when ancestors, sailed.
Yeah, there you go.
1700s.
There you go. So, what do you hope people derive from that book?
Well, my goal is that the children will realize about family appreciation. And with our technology today and all the toys and everything that are available to the children that their ancestors didn't have, even clothes, they had one pair of shoes, they had, everything was very, very limited. And so it's just for family appreciation, for the kids to understand and appreciate what they have today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely.
And their family that came before them.
Yeah. Definitely, appreciating what you have is really important. I mean, it really is.
We're all so spoiled today. There's so many options.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, they're spoiled. They're just, what are you going to do? It is crazy. So there you go. What more do we need to know about? And this book comes out in 2 months, did you say?
No, a couple of weeks, maybe a little sooner.
All right.
On Amazon.
There you go. And so people can watch for that as well.
Excuse me?
People can watch for that as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then I know you have a website. Is there anything we need to plug on the website or talk about?
Well, my books will be on there, and I hope to add more.
There you go. Well, we'll look forward to seeing more from you now as well.
Thank you.
So that we can delve into some of these wonderful books, and of course, give parents. Parents need to spend more time sitting and reading with their kids, and all that good stuff. I think it's really important.
Toys.
Yeah, most definitely. So as we go out, give people a final pitch to order up your books wherever fine books are sold, and all that good stuff, and we'll round out the show.
Right.
So give people the .coms and final pitch out.
It's PaulaRuthJones.com,
Mm-hmm.
and Facebook, Instagram. I guess that's it for now until
There you
it
go.
multiplies.
Until it multiplies.
I'm going to make sure it multiplies, and so is Mike.
You got to be multiplies. There you go. So thanks to you for coming to the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a privilege.
All right, Paula. And thanks to our audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, and the crazy place on the internet. Order up her books wherever fine books are sold. Clark, the Bully Shark, 2025 edition, out February 17th, 2025. You can get it on Kindle or paperback. And reading your kids is so important. Help your kids out. And, of course, getting them reading early, getting their brains activated, maybe getting them to not look in those phones so much and irradiate their brains with blue light. Probably a good idea. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.